Good.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Sunday Drive. And what a treat we have for you today on our this is our fourth edition of the Sunday Drive. And we are going to talk to the matriarch of the Manley family and Manley Motors, Earl Manley. So sit back, everybody, relax, and enjoy this edition of your Sunday Drive. And we are going to go for a ride in a cool 1966 Chrysler 300 Sport. You don't want to miss it. Okay, Earl, let's talk a little bit to start with about the dealership.
Well,
so your whole life has been cars, right?
Yep, sure has. My dad he come to Lindsay as the service manager in the building we're in now.
Wow. What year was that?
That would have been in 1930, I want to say about 1931 or about 1931.
Okay. Wow.
And he, as I said, he was a service manager in the corner of William and Wellington. So we had a franchise to sell Packard and Nash cars.
I've never even heard of them.
Yeah, well, Packard was a luxurious car. And so anyways, after the war, Nash said, now, are you going to sell Nash or are you going to sell Packard? You're not selling both. So anyways, we didn't sell a lot of Packards, but, sell maybe 3 or 4 a year. We had a couple doctors that we sold those to. And so anyways, we decided, well, I didn't decide because I wasn't very old.
Your parents?
Yeah. My dad decided that sold a lot more Nash cars than we would Packards. So, as soon as we give up Packard, Nash said, now you can't be selling these cars out of this old building. We were at 10 Wellington Street. So, no, this isn't going to work. You're going to have to find a better place. So, anyways, the money wasn't very plentiful. So we overhauled where we are right now at corner William and Wellington.
Mm-hmm.
George Langdon's butcher shop was here, and Ernie Raid had a flour mill that was operated out of this end of the building. I'd get up about 2:30, come in, fill the stoker, then it would run, and then after that I bought a bigger stoker, but it's and I.
So you didn't have to get up till 5.
Well. And I'm being, short as I'm being, I'd be trying to get the shovel up and get it in the stoker, and I'd hit the side of it, the top of the stoker, the coal will be all over the floor, and we've got lights controlled, heat controlled. It shuts down drops the temperature a little bit through the night, and they come in the morning, it's nice and warm, and nobody had to do anything. Just set it right on the night before.
When I started working for my dad, we were down at 10 Wellington Street, and I come home from school. I said, no, I'm done. And my parents weren't very happy with me, but anyways, I said, well, look, that's it. I didn't want to take a commercial class. I wanted to take the one that had, well, I forget what they called it.
What, for
schooling?
Oh, I see. Okay. Mm-hmm.
In high school. Anyways, that was water under the bridge. We
You persevered?
Persevered, and my parents were really disappointed in me that I didn't keep school up. But my dad said to me, if you're going to work for me, Earl, you're going to work. You're not coming here to fiddle around. So I worked in the parts department. So that went along fine. Then I moved into sales. I used to run 2 runs each week to the North Country. I had a lot of business out of the north. I had Ernie Saunders was my bird dog in Wilberforce, and now this is just a little story. I was up there. This was a winter, and my bird dog had 4 suspects lined up for me.
Customers?
Customers, yeah, 4 customers. So they told me what they were looking for, and I happened to have just what they were looking for. And I said, now look at guys, I'm not running a taxi to Lindsay. Now if these cars are exactly like I say they are you going to bring one home with you? Yep. So I called my dad, and at this time we didn't have any adjoining property on the building we're in now. We had a used car lot over in the East Ward. So I called my dad and I said, I want you to get these 4 cars over into the service department, get them thawed out because it was winter. So we arrive in Lindsay. I've got these cars. They're in the service department, and the 4 left and went home.
They didn't take any.
Oh no, they all went back.
They took them all. Okay.
All back to Wilberforce.
Wow.
Ooh. Yeah.
So was your dad proud of you?
I think he was.
No doubt. And what is it that you enjoy so much about the business?
I don't know. It just seems to be bred right into you. I just get all excited about a new car, even today.
What's your favorite new car today?
Well, I enjoy this car right here.
The Compass?
Yep. I just got this one, but I'm not very. I don't have one very long. They keep selling them on me. But which?
It's good.
Oh yeah, sure it is.
How has the business changed over the years?
Oh.
That's been, 90 years?
Well, no, I haven't been. It hasn't.
I know.
I haven't seen 90 years. I'm going to be 90 right away.
When is your birthday?
November.
November.
Yeah, I'll be 90.
So Earl and I are heading out in his Chrysler 300 Sport, 1966, right, Earl?
Yep.
Awesome.
It's a fast car, and
You said it likes to level out around 70.
that's right.
Wow. And it rides great. Really nice.
Well, you know, it's very solid.
How many miles to the gallon does it get?
That's not really an important factor.
No?
But my dad died at 59.
What did he die of?
He died of a coronary.
And how old were you at that time?
I would have been 30. Well, he was born 01.
1901.
1901. And I was, I would have been, geez, my mathematicians.
At that point, you would have had to take over the business, though, right? Or were you already pretty much in charge?
No, I was in sales.
You were, yeah. So you had to. Did you have to take over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like overnight. I just come out. I just come back from a north run, and my dad was at the dealership, so I talked to him for a while, and then I drove to Oakwood. I just got in the house, and the phone rang. It was my mom, and she said, "You better get back. They've taken your dad to the hospital." So I rushed right back in to the hospital. And they were insistent that I go and admit him first. I said, "No, we're not doing that." So I found out where he was, and yeah, he never gained consciousness. He was gone.
How did that affect you?
Oh, I'll tell you. It was just heart-wrenching. My dad and I got along good. I've had a very, very interesting and a fulfilling life. My wife died it's going to be 7 years ago. And yeah, I only had the one wife.
Wow, that's a thing in itself in this day and age. How many years were you married for?
61, I think. I'd say 61 years.
What do you think it is that kept you guys together for 61 years? What would you tell people today that can't even stay married for 5 years?
We have to make this first choice the right one.
That's true.
Yeah. Happy wife.
Happy life.
Happy life. See, I have 4 children. We had 3 of them in 11 months.
Wow. You were busy, Earl.
Well, now, I was just going to say, the score didn't indicate the play.
No. So how did that happen?
We had twins. Yeah. I had sold this guy a car. And very seldom took a deposit. Because if he asked for his deposit back, you give it to him. And so anyways, this guy, I had sold the car, but I hadn't delivered it yet. And he came in, he said, "Earl," he says, "I don't know how to tell you that, but," he says, "the roof fell in on my pig pen," and he says that the pigs I was going to pay for this car got killed. So, and I said, "Well, we were making the deal on the premise that you're going to have these pigs." Well, that was what he was telling us. Anyways, that was the story.
That was the story.
And I let him out of the deal. But,
and that's something that your company's been founded on, right? And
yeah.
maintained throughout the years is your commitment to customer service and honesty and integrity and that kind of thing.
And my kids have adopted the same thing. Well, that's the way they were brought up. I have this one chap in the city, and this is a true story. Reg Bolander was his name. Reg, I think I sold Reg. He'd call up and said, "Earl, I need a car." And I say, "Okay, Reg, I'll get one for you. Do you care what model it is? I just want a good car." And I had taken in one of the Undertaker's cars, and it was I mean, they're always nice and clean and well cared for.
Big.
Yeah, and he come down. He come down, and I said, "Come on out and have a look at it." "I don't need to look at it. Just get the paperwork done, and we'll be going." I said, "Okay." I told him what kind of a car it was.
You would you usually take the car right to the person, have them drive it, look around, kick the 4 tires, and just think, well, yep, it's what you said it was going to be.
I've been out of there for back in the 80s.
Do you still go into work the odd time? I've heard that you do.
Well, I don't know if they were complaining or...
I don't think they were complaining.
Okay.
Do you think, because you said earlier that your dad and your mom and dad were disappointed in you because you didn't continue your education, do you think they'd be proud of you today?
I'd hope so.
I think they would be.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for telling me your story, Earl, and for giving me a ride in your awesome Chrysler 300 Sport model vehicle. It rides amazing, and Andrew was telling me that you have the garage made a bit longer here in your house to fit this vehicle because it's about 18 feet long. Wow. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us on this edition of our Sunday Drive.
There you go. Thank you.